basic tips. As a sender, you must be a good reader. You know what reading does to you? Reading opens your heart to a lot of information, so you have information. 2, reading makes you know how other people present their thoughts. So when you see how thoughts are presented, you would also be able to know how to do what? Present your thoughts.
So many of those things we said can be put under the category of what? To inform. To inform can also, all of the angles of to inform could be to educate. So if I'm educating you on something, I'm what? I'm informing you on that. Even giving correction itself is informing you that this is wrong and what? This is right. So we want to give, to inform, to express feelings. To inform, to express feelings, to influence. They also said to meet social expectations, but I don't want us to be limited to that. But the most important thing in the leader's role is to select the type of message. Select the type of message. Select the goal, and you must be able to clearly define what you want that message to achieve. So if I want a change of action, I must, for example, even in preaching, so you go and preach, you went for evangelism, you have informed the person about Christ, but you may do all of that and not get the person to a point where you ask the person, so with what I have said, what will be your decision for Christ? Even in marketing, in sales, you have told me, this thing is very nice, it's very good, if you buy it, it's going to help you and the rest. That's what they call conversion. Are you able to now convert all of that talk to sale? So it's okay, so how many are you going to buy? When should I bring it for you to buy? So you have all of those talk, you have been able, because the goal of all of those things was to do what? Was to sell. So you must be able to clarify the types of message and the goal or the objective you want the message to accomplish. The second one is what we dealt with a little bit last week, which is analyzing the receiver. So it is the sender's responsibility to do what? To analyze the receiver. And who can remind me the various ways that the receiver is expected to be profiled or analyzed? We talked about them last week. Who can quickly run them for me? Quickly. Yes? You analyze them socially, you analyze them economically, demographically, their age, their marital status, even in some instances. You are speaking to women and they are young single women. The language is different from when you are speaking to married women. All of those analyses must be done. The age bracket, the age range of the people you are. And I use chapel as an example where you have the elders, your senior lecturers are there, your lecturers are there, your colleagues are there, same level colleague, higher level colleague, junior level colleague. They are all in that room and you have to address all of them. So you must understand all these people and analyze them well. What other area should you analyze them? Who can find me? I should cover everything. Culturally, you must be able to identify, analyze them culturally. You must be able to analyze them emotionally. What are they going through at that point in time? All right. So that's the second sender's role. The other sender's role is that you must encourage feedback. You must encourage feedback. What are the ways to get feedbacks? What are the ways to get feedbacks? Who can tell me? Yes? Simple as that. By asking what? Question. What did you get from what I just finished saying? What did you learn from today's class? Can you tell me what you have received from what I just said, you will be able to know whether the message you sent was message that was good. That's the one. Number two, what other way can you get feedback? I said it in person last week, so somebody should be able to decode it for me today. Yes. By observing the reaction of the people you are speaking to. You must be able to observe. You are not just speaking with your mouth, you are speaking with your eyes. So I am speaking, you are speaking to people, everybody is sleeping off on you. You should know that your point is boring. As you are speaking, people are agitating, there is a lot of negative reaction going on. People are saying, what did you say? You are hearing moments everywhere. You know that there is chaos. So you must be able to observe. You must get feedback by asking questions and by doing what? By making observation. Then it is the sender's role to remove communication barriers. Which one of them is noise? Do you know the sender can become the barrier? Somebody should explain. That's one of my questions in the exam. The sender can be the barrier. Explain. Yes, my friend.
Let's take an instance that I want to pass a message, and I have this head that is just standing one.
Okay.
So whatever thing I'm telling you, your mind is not there because
You have considered distraction by your appearance. Yes. So by the sender's appearance, you can become what? A barrier, a distraction, or a noise. Yes. Somebody wants to read it. Okay. Yes. Hallelujah.
Also talking about semantic noise. I'll give an example of saying areas of the same plumage navigate around the same geographic vicinity, meaning birds of the same feathers
Flock together.
So that noise, people will be trying to decode what he's trying to say.
So your attempts to sound like a grammarian can even become a distraction. Yes? Your emotions. Beautiful. Tell me how.
Okay, maybe I am not feeling, I'm not feeling too well. Maybe someone offended me. And I'm trying to pass that information, but let's say the fact that I'm
Yeah, you are transferring aggression from. So you are speaking out of anger. The only thing people are hearing is that he's angry. The thing you are saying is hide it. They are not hearing. Yeah, our guy is angry today. He's angry. Because you are expressing anger more than you are communicating what needs to be done. So your emotion can become what? A distraction. And emotions can be either way. It can even be joy. You can be overjoyous and we are not even hearing you. You can be so sad and angry. Yes. Oh.
When you use too much non-verbal cues, like your hand movement.
I've forgotten I studied communication. Okay, I shouldn't have called it. So when your non-verbal cues interfere with what you are saying, so Professor Ashok used to give this instance. A man, through friend, he said he was going somewhere with his friend, and they got to a junction, and they didn't know where to turn. So they asked the young man, please, where do we go to? We are going to this particular place. The man said, okay, when you get to that point, turn left. Watch me very well. When you get to that point, turn left. Where will you go? When you get, his hand is pointing right, but his mouth is pointing left. Now, Professor Ashok is a communication expert, is a lecturer in the course of that in communication. So when they got to the point, he told his friend, let's go right. Because where the guy's hand is going is the place. He didn't know his mouth said left. Do you get how he interpreted the guy? But for you, you'll be confused because you are not a communication expert. So sometimes,
For example, you are talking and say, let us come together. Let us all come together. How can these be together? Do you get the point? So we're going to get to that non-verbal clues, where those things could even interfere with what we are saying. And you know, as you move from top to bottom, and my hand is going from down up, I am confusing because you don't know where to place. So the movement of your hand, the movement of your face, the movement of your body is very, very important, and it could become what? A distraction. Who can tell me how the center again can become? Yes. Hope you are writing all those points. They are example. Speech patterns. Explain.
One would be maybe person has the dialect difference, and another would be someone stutter.
Okay. So your speech pattern will actually. Okay, she said she went to the supermarket, to the store, and she wanted to get eater for her house. Now, for us in Nigeria, Nigerian English, if I say eater, you understand what I'm talking about, isn't it? All right. So when she got there, she was saying eater, eater, and the people were confused. What do you want to buy? Eater, eater. Until somebody pronounced it the right way, like this, eater. Now, you have been saying eater since for the past 2 hours. You are saying what you want to say, but the person is hearing something else. So your speech pattern is actually very important. People who stutter may also interfere with what they say. Can we get one more? Okay, yeah, my communication here. Yes, use of those excessive word fillers can actually interfere. People may even get so distracted by it. For example, church people, hallelujah, hallelujah. Everything you are saying, you are using hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. For instance, you just said that, so as they were traveling, the man and his family was involved in a ghastly car accident, and he lost all his family, hallelujah. Now you are not, your own is that you are used to saying hallelujah as an interjection, and you put it where it does not even reflect. So what is hallelujah about? This man lost his own family. So some people is the word so. He now, I don't even know that one. So a lot of those things interfere with what you are saying. This is another thing I want to say as we move on from that. When you are speaking as a leader, you must understand that you must create a thought pattern in the mind of the receiver. That is what will determine how you now present the message. So it's not just enough for the sender to have the message. You must choose how you do what? Present it. That's another rule. You must choose how you do what? Present that message. I remember that somebody was saying there was a report, a how many pages report that was supposed to be submitted to the leader of Dubai, I've forgotten his name now. And he does not have time. So what they simply did was to convert the entire book into just one picture. So in just a glance of that picture, the man understands what you're saying. So for instance, and we have it now. So you give an architect, I want this kind of house, I want this kind of house, I want it to look like this, I want it to look like this. All that the architect needs to present to you is a 3D diagram. And you're going to see exactly how it will be. Now, that 3D diagram is probably 2 or 3 images that you're looking at, front view, side view, up view. But if you go and look at the plan of the house, it may be 40 pages. But you have compressed it to as small as possible. So one of the things we're going to be looking at next week, we're going to get a little bit more practical next week, even though some of our people are not around, but we'll still run, is to be able to identify basic messages that we communicate under the umbrella of church leadership, and look at what should be the content. Because we are now moving into the next phase, which is message, the message. So if I call on you to give vote of thanks, what should be inside the vote of thanks? If I call you to do welcome address, welcome people to church on a Sunday morning, what should be the content of those messages? Remember last week when I was closing, I was talking about some of the keys to improve on your speaking. What I said? You may be a good reader. You must read why. Read versatile. What will reading do to you? Number one, reading will help you understand how other people convey their messages, their ideas. Number two, that reading will do to you, reading will give you wide range of information. So because when you are well informed, it will influence your speaking. When you are well informed, it will influence your speaking. So I talked about reading. What other thing did I talk about? You must be a good listener. So because as you listen also, you'll be able to know how people talk, how you should speak, and listen to really great speakers. That's why I encourage people listen to channel. I don't know, the channels is improving now. Alright, some of them sometimes, but prefer listen to CNN, listen to BBC. Begin to pick those words, how they are used, and the rest of that. Listen to great speeches. You said? Yes, that's one of my most fantastic points ever in communication. Take advantages of what? Small speeches. So by next week, we're going to be highlighting, we're going to be highlighting some of those small speeches that none of you should be fine one thing when they say, you are in a meeting, they say, somebody should give vote of thanks. You must be able to give vote of thanks, and people love your vote of thanks. You'll be able to give welcome address, and people love the way you welcome them. Because you have that should be there. I have a book, somebody wrote on that, what to say and how to say it. If you can get that book, it will really help you. What to say and how to say. So we're going to be looking into that. What to say, the message, and what should be the content of the message. We're going to do that next week. Have a beautiful week ahead. God bless you. How many classes do we have this week? 4 classes. Do you have numbers?